Hi, so this is gonna be like a new kind of video that I haven't ever done yet, but it's basically food related and I really love food. And if you know me, I love making food and trying out new recipes and putting my own twist to things. So I had a lot of fun filming this video, and these are 5 fun and simple plant-based options that you can make. You probably already have these ingredients in your own pantry, so in your own house, so it's most likely not difficult to find these ingredients. And I want to do it plant-based so that it's more environmentally friendly, and because I try to stick to that diet as much as possible. Diet as in like lifestyle kind of thing. But I would say that I'm sort of flexible between vegetarian and plant-based, which I know isn't like, but I do my best. And I think as someone who lives on this planet, I think it's important to try our best. Even if it's not perfect, it's better than not trying at all. So this is me putting in my effort, and I hope you like this video. They're really easy to make. Like, I make these by myself, or like I make them with my family when I want to like do something, we want to do something as a family. So these are really simple meals, and I think they're nutritious. I think they're good for you. And I'm not a specialist or a nutritionist, yeah, that's a word, but I think just by seeing what the ingredients are, it's pretty safe to say that they are quite healthy for you. Also depends on what quantities you eat this, but sidetracking. Anyways, as I always do, I'm always sidetracking, but yeah, I'm really excited for you to watch this video. I hope you like it. As I said before, I had so much fun making it. I love making food, and if you like these kinds of videos, food related, feel free to let me know. I will definitely do more in the future. I remember one of my friends asked me if like I could do food, like plant-based foods, and I said yes like months ago, and I've been working on this video for a really long time, and I'm finally glad that I got around to finishing it up and editing it and wrapping it up so that you guys can have a nice final product. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. So basically the first recipe is going to be a nice pasta dish. So the first thing I do is I drizzle some oil in a pan, and I have my pasta in already because the water is boiling. And I normally cut up like an entire zucchini or half, and you see me here cutting up a tomato. And normally you can also do like one of those slim eggplants that you can cut up like half of it and leave it in before everything else so that it can be like softer. And anything else, well, instead perhaps of these big tomatoes that I had here, you can use cherry tomatoes, but I didn't have any of those, so I decided to utilize what I already had. And honestly, it's really also up to you what kind of vegetables you like to have as part of your pasta sauce, but personally this is what I enjoy. So here you see me placing the the zucchini in the pan with the oils hot and the tomatoes, and really just letting that stir fry over there, and also checking on my pasta to make sure to see whether it's done. By the way, my pasta, I used some chickpea pasta, so I think it gets done a bit faster than wheat pasta. And I personally find it healthier, and especially for vegan recipes, getting as much protein as you can is really important. So utilizing that chickpea pasta was amazing. And also, as you can see here, I have some tofu. I cut up like about a third of the like entire tofu rectangle cube. So yeah, just like mashing it with my fingers instead of cutting it up, because I feel like it gives it that sort of meaty texture sometimes you have in like a pasta sauce, and I personally really like it when it's mashed like that rather than always cutting it, because it's easier to eat. And I normally just leave those in the pan just to mix, and I have my pasta on the side. I took it off the heat just to let it cool down a bit, and I kind of had my hands full with the pan like preparing everything, so I couldn't really pay attention to the pasta just yet. And you see me mixing everything around with the oil and everything just to make sure everything is well incorporated. And then I'm adding my spinach. Spinach is super tasty. I really love it, especially with the pasta sauce, because it gets like kind of soft and mushy, and I personally really like the texture, and the flavor is amazing. And if you don't like spinach, I know some people don't, you don't have to add it in, but I love it, and I think it's super healthy, it's super good. And with some lemon, as you see here, I had a lemon wedge cut up. It's super good, and I kind of use my fingers as a filter to not let any of the seeds fall in, because I am notoriously known to let that happen sometimes, so just be careful of that. And I also have some condiments, some seasoning. So we have this called Love Salt, which kind of has like a bunch of different things. So obviously salt and roses, like dried up rose leaves, and more things that I'm not quite sure. But if you don't have that and you just want to use salt, that's also super good. And mixing that around, I personally love a lot of salt, and I ended up not putting enough there, so at the end of the dish I kind of added more. But it's also up to your preference if you like a lot of salt or not too much. And if you like pepper, I'm personally not a big fan of pepper, but you can put some of that. I didn't. And I also have these de Provence herbs that are super tasty in pasta, and they just add a really nice scent to your dish, and I really love it. So you see me adding that there, and I'm gonna mix it around. And also just like, I feel like it's really important to take your time on the sauce, rather than like, obviously the pasta is important, but also your sauce, because you see there's a lot of it, and really just making sure that everything is well incorporated and that you have the flavors that you like. And once I was done with that, you can see that I put in the pasta. I'm using here, I think, fusilli pasta, but you can use whatever pasta you have around in the house or whatever you prefer. And just mixing that all around just to make sure that everything is nicely incorporated together. And then we have the pasta sauce. This is what I had in the house, but obviously you can use your own homemade sauce or whatever you like, or I feel like it also works without any pasta sauce, just like that, and just making sure you have the right condiments in there, and I think it works fine without any sauce. And yet again, mixing it up together. And here I'm adding some nutritional yeast. It's really important, yet again, for a plant-based diet to just have all of your vitamins and everything. And nutritional yeast is amazing for B12, and it also has that nice cheesy flavor that being vegan you can't really get unless you use fake cheese, which is also fine, but I didn't have any in the house. And also garlic is one of my favorite ways to season a dish, so I added quite a bit, but obviously if you don't like garlic, you don't have to add a lot. And yet again, mixing it up, and it's quite simple. It takes like 20 minutes max to make, and it's so tasty, so good, and you can make it for the entire family. Super easy to make and very delicious. And don't forget to wash the dishes at the end. Another one of my favorite snacks is this date filled with almond butter and dark chocolate. I think everyone has these ingredients at home, or they should be in your pantry, but anyhow, I absolutely love this snack. As you can see, you just cut the date in half, you take out the seed. It's super easy to make. You just fill it up with almond butter or whatever nut butter you like. Peanut butter works fine, cashew butter, but I just had almond butter at the house, and I think it's like one of my favorite ones, like favorite butters, but you can use whichever it is you prefer. And oh my god, that looks so good. I love that it's like creamy but crunchy and chewy, because like the dark chocolate is like, it's not soft, and it also cuts a bit from the sweetness, but it's still like super good, and it's quite healthy for you. I mean, almond butter is good, dates are good, and it's dark chocolate, so it shouldn't do you any harm. Plus, if you're like a bit hungry but you're not really sure what to eat, I feel like this is the best snack because it's so filling. The next snack slash meal, not meal, but like a snack for the day, like a morning part of your breakfast kind of thing, is a smoothie. Oh my god, I can't speak. I absolutely love smoothies. I feel like they're so fun to make and they're super, super easy. My dad helped me making it, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you can use whatever fruits you have with you. Also, when we go grocery shopping, we look for like fruits that are maybe a bit like that are on sale, that aren't super fresh, because I mean, when you're making a smoothie, they don't have to be like super duper perfect and like ripe, like perfectly ripe and whatever, because I mean, you're gonna mash them up so it doesn't, I mean, I don't think it really matters, so you don't have to like spend huge bucks for it. But use whatever fruits you have. We used oranges, melon, pineapple. We also used frozen kale and frozen berries, but as I previously mentioned, just use whatever fruits you have. Even frozen fruits are super good if you want to make it a bit more like a kind of yogurt rather than to drink, and it turned out so, so good. I absolutely love how they taste, and even if you're like not too sure if you want to like make a green smoothie, personally I don't really like them, but I feel like if you want to incorporate more vegetables in it, I think it's a marvelous idea. And what I like to do if I know I'm going to use some vegetables also is to add more fruits, and even dates are super duper good in them. They make them extra creamy and they always turn out super good. And you can also put in any butter, like almond butter, so I love them.